Let's see if I'm live. Definitely let me know if you can see me and hear me properly. And we'll be starting in just a few minutes. Just need to get the chat function. It somehow broke. I have to get that again. But do let me know where you're tuning in from, and I'll get to your questions if you've already got some questions. All right, the chat is working right now. And yeah, we'll be starting in like a few minutes. Got some pretty cool stuff I'd like to show. If you not really much has been happening in terms of price action. So we'll be looking at the charts in a bit, but it won't be the main focus. I've got a few pieces of news I think is super interesting. DeFi, Ethereum related, as well as some Cardano news. There's not a lot of Polkadot news around at the moment, and not a lot of Bitcoin news. But yeah, we'll be looking at the Bitcoin, ADA, ETH, Polkadot, and other coins as well, charts at the end of the video. So make sure you stay to the end. Wade de Brun, what EIP 1559? This is also going to be a topic of this video. I'll be quickly addressing what it is about and when it will be implemented and why it's so important for the Ethereum blockchain. Leonardo San, hello, how are you? Have you looked at BSC pad project? It's like IDO but on Binance. I've only looked a little bit at the Binance Smart Chain. I've got one video coming out for Binance Smart Chain, but I haven't really looked at the Binance IDO. To be honest, I'm not too interested in the Binance Smart Chain from an investment or a DeFi perspective, because it's not really DeFi in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people really like the Binance Smart Chain since it's really cheap in comparison to in comparison to Ethereum, but yeah, it's not decentralized, and I think it just goes against my philosophy on what I see in the whole cryptocurrency space and different base layers. Like you've got Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano. Those are the base layers, and for me, those base layers are really decentralized. Some a bit more, some a bit less. But Binance Chain is definitely not decentralized. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people to make money there, but I don't really want to focus too much time on the Binance Smart Chain. Yeah. Mike, I'm with you. Hi, Kierin. Grüezi in die Schweiz. Depuis la France. Really happy that you're joined. And yeah. Salutations à tous les viewers français. Saf Meta, hi. And one other thing I'll be doing in this video is I'll be picking a winner from the DeFi video. I made a video, I think it was 1 week ago, where I would say I pick a winner for Ledger Nano S, and I'll be also picking the winner in this video. So if you place a comment in that video, then that definitely is you'll definitely have a chance to win a Ledger Nano S or cryptocurrency if you prefer. So if you haven't already made a comment on that video, make sure you do. It's the DeFi explained, what is DeFi and how to get started. Definitely recommend place a comment before I do the giveaway, just as a heads up, because I think it's if you're taking your time to watch the stream, then you definitely get a chance to participate if you haven't already. All right. So yeah, hope you're doing fantastic. In today's video, we will be looking a little bit at what has been happening in the DeFi space. We've got some really cool stuff. The hash rate has gone through the roof in terms of Ethereum. We'll be looking at why and what one of the biggest sectors is on the Ethereum blockchain. We're looking at the layer 2 DEX was, which is impressive. I'll be looking a little bit at Sushi, and I think Sushi has a lot of potential. I might be making a larger video about Sushi, as well as Compound Labs. They've also got something really incredible. We'll be doing the giveaway of the Ledger Nano S in this video, and we'll also be looking at a few like really cool stuff, like some NFT stuff, as an NFT has become mainstream, and I think a little bit of Cardano news and a little bit of XRP news, as there's been a little bit of development on that front. I'm not really sure how good it is, but yeah, we're gonna have to find out how the price evolves from there. So make sure you've got something to drink, something to eat if you're hungry, and let's dive right into the video. My name is Kieran. I'm a data analyst that's been in the space since 2015. And yeah, I try and provide you with the information necessary so you can make the best decisions in the space, hopefully make some money without me providing you financial advice, but maybe helping you think and make more accurate decisions on what to do. So yeah, like I said, that the ETH hash rate has been gone through the roof. Now I realize many people that might not have a lot of funds, and a larger sector of the DeFi users are excluded from participating in DeFi on the Ethereum blockchain because of the incredibly high gas fees. And it's good on one hand and it's bad on the other. So let me quickly elaborate why it's good, because many people don't really see the big picture. And it's good because it shows that there's massive amount of demand for this technology. And the bad is, yeah, well, many people are excluded, especially people from third world countries, or people that don't really have the salary or funds to invest and trade on the Ethereum blockchain. So yeah, there's a good and bad, but all in all, it's going in a good direction. And hopefully with this massive ETH hash rate, it also shows that it just shows how much interest is in the space. And I think this is pretty good. So what is interesting is if we look at one of the largest sectors that is on the current Ethereum blockchain, and that is the stablecoin market. And the stablecoin market is actually really, really massive. And I think this is a sector that's going to grow even more as people all around the world, they send remittance payments. And at the moment, it's just mostly on the Ethereum blockchain. So if you look at 2018, the landscape of the Ethereum Ethereum space, and that's what kind of coins and projects were transacted. So a little bit of BNB, a little bit of Link, but mostly ETH was transacted on the Ethereum blockchain. Just a little bit of USDT. You've also got a little bit of USDC, TUSD, SAI, PAX, and GUSD. So that's pretty crazy. So ETH dominates most of it. And if we look at the landscape at the moment, 2021, and here now the landscape has shifted a considerable amount. So only a smaller portion of the transactions are ETH transactions, and a larger portion are stable coins. You've got USDT running on ETH, you've got USDK, USDC, and a few other coins. And I think this is interesting. It also explains why the gas fees at the moment are so high, because if you're not already aware of it, ETH transaction on the Ethereum blockchain is the cheapest transaction that you can do. Then a little bit more expensive is ERC20 token transaction or other token standards. So those are a bit more expensive, and the most expensive is of course smart contract calls. So yeah, Link has a lot of place to grow, and I think I'll be dedicating a whole video to Link because it's got some really bullish news, but it's too much to cover in this video. So I'll be definitely making a video about Link soon, because a lot is happening in the space, especially with Link, and I'm sure Link Marines would like that a lot. In other news, Amazon makes hosting an Ethereum node a lot easier. So this is pretty cool, even though it's not too great to have all of the Ethereum nodes running on Amazon. But Amazon is making a smart play here, targeting the Ethereum landscape. However, if you want a pretty cool way to stake your 32 ETH, then make sure you check out one of my sponsors down below, Block Staking. They're fantastic. They've got a really great setup that helps you manage your validator, like from starting and locking up the keys, and it's like non-custodial. That means they don't have the keys. So I think they're really cool. So make sure you check them out in the description below. If you're a bit hesitant to run your own validator because of the technical issues, but yeah. So in other news, layer 2s, and I think this is going to be the savior of Ethereum in the short term, and they're making like massive waves. So layer 2 DEX trading volume in the last 24 hours has increased by a crazy amount, and you've got quick swap DEX with 34 million US dollars. That's pretty crazy. However, it's a 30% its own token. And then you've got ZK Swap Official, $8 million of trading volume. Loopring, $5 million. I think it's pretty interesting that like Quick Swap DEX and ZK Swap Official have surpassed Loopring. I mean, Loopring has been a pretty big player in the space, but it's always been suffering from liquidity issues. Then you've got Lever G with 1 million, Diversify 1 million, and Nash Social 854,000. I think it's really good to look at these layer 2 decentralized exchanges, because they will definitely grow as 2021 progresses, as more people want to escape the Ethereum fees and they want to trade on Ethereum. They might want to do a lot of transfers, selling high, buying low, many different tokens, and doing that on Uniswap is just a gas guzzler. So yeah, definitely maybe check out some of these like Quick Swap, ZK Swap. I'll definitely be making a much more in-depth video about these ones here, but I think it's always great to see like the massive amounts of trading volume, because that's like a clear-cut way of seeing what is actually being used, and what actually is used is very often in terms of investment also the tokens that increase the most. So that's definitely pretty cool. If you want to check out different of those platforms, I'll paste it here and you can just check it out if you want. AdiG, Kierin the best. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate the support of everyone that's watching the stream. Make sure you hit that like button. But yeah, I wouldn't be here without you guys and all of the support you've been giving me. So big love, a lot of love to all of you guys. Hope you're safe wherever you are. And yeah. In other news, we've got some really cool stuff happening with Sushi, and I think Sushi is on track for doing a crazy year. And I think the vision that Sushi is doing is something that I totally embrace, and that is going multi-chain. In my opinion, the cryptocurrency space is not a zero-sum game. Now, if you're not really familiar with this term, zero-sum game, I'll quickly look for it. Zero-sum game. It's basically part of game theory, and what that means is in a zero-sum game, you've got a winner and a loser. So, I think roulette would be a zero-sum game. You've got one sector is winners and one sector is losers. However, in my opinion, cryptocurrency is a non-zero-sum game. That means you can have multiple winners, multiple chains. And I think the more DeFi projects accept it and accept that they can maybe place their dApp onto another blockchain, then the DeFi space is just going to thrive even faster than it's been doing in the last year. So I think all of the toxicity that's happening on Twitter, on crypto Twitter, with BTC maximalists, ETH maximalists, like bashing on Cardano or whatever, I think if they get away from that and just accept that the future is a multi-chain future, I think everyone would have a much better time. And so if we go back to to Sushi, they're actually going multi-chain, and they have deployed and they're working on different networks. So you've got Phantom. Phantom is part of one of the projects I talked about in the video. I think it was about 10 altcoins for incredible wealth. I think Phantom is a fantastic one. And you've got Polygon. You've got XDAI, also very popular layer 2 chain. You've got Binance Smart Chain. You've got Moonbeam Network, and this is part of the Polkadot ecosystem. So Moonbeam is basically an Ethereum clone running on Polkadot with a few added features. So all of these are pretty bullish. And I think by leveraging the pros of many of these different blockchains or layer 2 solutions, Sushi is gonna like experience massive growth. And I think that's crazy. And hopefully what is also going to be soon possible is having some kind of cross-chain trading, cross-chain liquidity providing, yield earning thing. And I think it's going into a realm where it's very difficult to wrap your head around it, but I think it's incredibly bullish. So you can actually look at the release by going onto staging sushi.com. You've got here a lot of information on what there. It does look very similar, of course, to Uniswap, because Sushi is a Uniswap clone, but I think they managed to go past their growing pains at the beginning, and they've become one of the best leaders in or DeFi leaders in the DeFi space. So yeah, this is exchangesushi.com. I won't go into this too much now, but hopefully I will be able to show how it looks like on other chains, maybe XDAI or Phantom. So that would be pretty cool. Compound Labs, today we were proud to announce a prototype based on the Compound Chain white paper. So Gateway is a cross-chain interest rate market that allows you to borrow assets native to one chain, e.g. ETH, with collateral from another chain, e.g. Celo. So like I just mentioned before, I think we're moving towards a multi-chain future, and I don't think a lot of people have been talking a lot about this yet, and I think this is pretty interesting. And yeah, it leverages the benefits of multiple chains, and you're not like limited to maybe Ethereum or the Binance chain and so on. So that's pretty cool. So Gateway, the open distributed ledger for cross-chain interest rate markets. So using Substrate. Substrate is a type of framework to build blockchains on Polkadot. And they chose this Substrate so they could focus on building application code instead of inventing consensus algorithms. So they can quick start their chain on the Polkadot ecosystem rather fast by using Substrate. So the functionality, if you're familiar with how Compound Protocol works, Gateway should feel intuitive with a few improvements. You've got interest is earned and paid in dollars using cash, Gateway's native unit of account. So it's probably like a stable coin. If you borrow 1 Ether, you only ever owe 1 Ether. The Gateway risk engine is more robust. Risk is based on the volatility of assets you use as collateral. And you can quickly and inexpensively transfer any asset in Gateway to other users, even wallets from other blockchains. I think this is really incredible. So what you have to do is if you're coming from the Ethereum blockchain, you're going to have to like on-ramp your ETH or your tokens onto this gateway, this Compound Finance gateway, which is basically a blockchain. And when you're in that blockchain, you can do all of the stuff that you want. You can move to different assets without having to pay like the crazy fees that you would be paying on the Ethereum based Compound Finance DeFi application. So this is pretty cool. Looking forward to how this develops. So yeah, next steps is basically auditing the code base, probably also some test nets and so on. So definitely looking forward to when I can test this out. I think I found this pretty cool. DeFi app. I think it's really cool, but yeah, of course, always high DeFi fees with the Ethereum blockchain. This is definitely a disadvantage, but what's cool about it is that you can actually lock up different tokens and you can actually earn yield in either ETH, REP, BTC, Wi-Fi, or ETH. So I think this is pretty cool. You just lock up the tokens, and instead of earning the token that you're locking up, you earn it in a token that can actually increase in value. And of course, it can also lose in value as the market is volatile. However, it's not audited. So Invest Finance is pretty awesome. Haven't tried it out, but I do like the idea behind it. All right, so let's get to the giveaway. Hope you guys have settled in. And yeah, it's about the DeFi, explain what is DeFi and how to get started video. For those that are new to the cryptocurrency space, I'm pretty sure it's useful to get like your bearings on where to start and where to get some more information. So we've got quite a few comments here, and I'll be using the comment picker to select a comment and a winner. So hopefully the winner is online right now. If not, then he'll probably get the information later on. But yeah, let's see. So I'm gonna actually here paste it, and I'm gonna actually remove filter duplicate users, and I'm gonna remove include replies to comment, and I'm gonna do that. So get YouTube comments, 33 comments. That's pretty cool. 33 comments. So are we ready for the raffle and pick the random winner? I'm going to be quite interested to see who it is. Is it someone? Yeah, let's see. Is it someone that's now online or not? And yeah, let me know in the chat if you're ready to find out who the winner is. I want to see how many people are online at the moment. Let me quickly see how many people are online at the moment. 9 people, pretty cool. Do let me know if you're ready, and then I'll get to the winner. Let's click on start. And find out who the winner is. Hopefully it's someone that's online. I won't waste your time any longer. Let's try it out. Martin Herrera. Thanks for the info. So congratulations on winning. I'll let you know in the comment section about your winning, and I'll contact you and let you know how you can actually get your prize. So congrats to the winner, Martin Herrera. All right, let's continue. And there's been fantastic news for Cardano. And as you know, I'm a pretty big Cardano bull. I really like the Cardano blockchain and what they're doing. I've got a video about Cardano coming out soon with also this information, a lot more information as well. So on the 1st of March, Cardano actually had a hard fork with their hard fork combinator. Basically, it's an update tool that helps them actually change the code of the Cardano blockchain, and they upgraded to the Mary with the Mary update. And this is pretty cool because Mary actually introduces native assets, and I think this is a really cool feature, these native assets, because they're not based on smart contracts. And the cool thing is that then if I've got a stable coin or a token on the Cardano blockchain, I can actually send it to someone else and pay the fees in that token. I won't have to hold ADA in my wallet. So whereas on the Ethereum blockchain, if I want to send ERC20 tokens, I'm going to have to hold ETH. Now with the native assets, how they're actually constructed on the Cardano blockchain, this is not necessary. And this is pretty cool. This is the second of 3 updates happening in order to enter the Goguen era. The third update is going to be the Alonso update, which will introduce smart contracts, and that should happen around Q2 2021. So this is pretty cool, exciting milestone, but definitely still a lot of updates to come. Talking about Ethereum updates, EIP 1559 has been officially included in the upcoming London hard fork upgrade, and that should happen July or August 2021. And I think this is pretty bullish. In my last video with Ethereum Can't Scale, I was talking a lot about the EIP 1559, that it would be included. I realized I made a typo here. But yeah, it is EIP 1559. So I was talking about it and how it will actually improve the gas fee structure as it's working at the moment. It's incredibly inefficient. And with the introduction of EIP 1559, you're going to have something like a base fee, and that will actually be burned. So it's going to replace Ethereum's first price auction fee. So at the moment, the Ethereum fee is based on a bid auction. Basically, the one that pays the most gets his transaction placed on the blockchain first. And I think this is really inefficient because it means that people start bidding at incredibly high levels, and instead of like starting at super low levels. And with this new feature, with the EIP 1559, you're going to have basically a type of base or one part of the fee, which is going to become more expensive if the network is congested and less expensive if the network is not congested. And the part of the fee is also going to be burned. And that's incredible because with the introduction of EIP 1559, it's possible that on days with a lot of congestion, 26 or 30 million ETH could be burned. Dollars of ETH could be burned. And that's pretty cool because that means that the issuance of ETH decreases as more and more ETH gets burnt, the more that the network is used. So that's the high level overview of what this EIP 1559 actually brings. So if we look at EIP 1559, if we can find an image. So you've got here, this is pretty good explanation. You've got the base fee and the tip. The base fee is burned and the tip goes to the miners. And this base fee actually changes based on the congestion of the network. And that's like the quick explanation. And the great thing is that as soon as we've got Ethereum 2.0 in 1.5 years or so, and EIP 1559 is introduced, well, first of all, Ethereum 2.0 has a much lower issuance per year as Ethereum 1.0 has. So thus, with the introduction of EIP 1559, that would also mean that Ethereum 2.0 will become deflationary. Maybe not at the beginning, but as time progresses. And I think that's pretty cool because at the moment Ethereum is an inflationary asset, but yeah, it will definitely become a little bit less inflationary with the base fee, which hopefully also means that there's going to be less ETH for people to buy, less supply, since a lot of the ETH is also being locked up in DeFi as well as the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain. So yeah, pretty cool. And I do expect the price of ETH to also go up quite a bit with this update. So probably before this update, I expect the price of ETH to go up quite a bit. If we look at Binance Chain for a bit, the shenanigans continue here with $31 million stolen after Meerkat Finance launch goes wrong. And here it's a really questionable thing. Are the devs at fault? Is Binance actually a decentralized, is the Binance Smart Chain actually a decentralized blockchain? Did they force the devs of Meerkat to come forward and repay the funds? So basically it's a rug pull, in my opinion, but the devs of Meerkat actually were forced to actually return the funds. So this is pretty interesting. After $31 million of crypto assets were swiped from the wallets of Meerkat Finance, people believe it's a rug pull, and it's only been a day post-launch, but the finance project, which was built on the Binance Smart Chain, had apparently been compromised. Meerkat Finance took to its official channel yesterday to alert users, but actually at some point they did say that it was a test and they will be returning the funds to users. Now the question is, was it Binance that forced their hands? They attempted to rug pull the users, but then after when they realized they were caught, they're just like, no, sorry, it's just a test, just a test. So yeah, I'd definitely be wary about these yield farming applications and all the different DeFi. I don't really like to call them DeFi apps, but I don't really have the dApps, or just apps on the Binance Smart Chain. Just be careful with those. I won't be diving too much into them. I do have one video coming out about it, but yeah, I won't be making too many videos. So Dev says $31 America finance exploit was just a test and they will return the funds. So this is pretty interesting. So that happened actually at 5:30 a.m. today. Market finance developer identifies them as Jambu posted a short message in a newly created Telegram channel, Mercat Refunds, and Jambu said that the exploit was a trial testing users' greed and subjectivity, and that the team was preparing to refund users. Like I said, a lot of shenanigans. I definitely just do not believe anything that they said. To be honest, they tried to run away with the money, but they got caught. And the easiest thing for them to do is pay the money back, pretend it was just a joke. It's just a prank, bro, just a prank. Yeah. Not really sure if I've got any people interested in XRP stuff, but it's quite interesting. The Ripple Labs, the two famous guys, Bradley Gallington and Kierin and I'll, they actually filed a response to the SEC's amended complaint. And it's pretty interesting because the submission states, in part, the complaint filed by the SEC advances an unprecedented and ill-conceived legal theory with neither statutory mandatory or congressional authorization. So apparently they're just like saying that it's the SEC's fault and they should have gone about the whole thing in a different manner. And the way that the SEC did it, it caused the XRP holders on many exchanges to suffer losses. And then, funnily enough, the SEC just says, oh yeah, but it's the exchange's fault that they stopped listing the coins and they're not taking any blame. So definitely a lot of circus stuff happening here. Not really sure where this will lead. To be honest, I don't really care too much. I'm not invested into Ripple or XRP, but it's still interesting to see how this develops. Not that I think that any other coins are going to be, or I don't think any of the other large cap coins are going to be affected by this. But yeah, I do know some holders that are owning some XRP, and they definitely are biting their teeth trying to figure out how the SEC will settle this, if Ripple will manage to come to a settlement or not. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, that's enough about XRP. The price is, it's basically become a stable coin. Stable coin trading at 45 cents. Not a $1 stable coin. I guess that would be a utopian dream for many XRP holders. But it's basically become a stable coin with many of the other cryptocurrencies moving up. But yeah, it's been pretty stable all along. Talking about the NFT space has been in an explosive motion upwards, and that's just crazy with a lot of mainstream creators entering into the NFT space. You've got like artists, you've got music producers, and here the largest NFT sale ever came from a business school dropout turned star DJ, and that's the Blau family, and gathered last weekend to celebrate a couple of things at the second and final and the live multi-million-dollar internet auction featuring a newly booming type of crypto asset put together by the 30-year-old Justin Blau. And that's pretty cool. So Blau, he's known as an electronic dance music star. Freelance was selling 33 non-fungible tokens or NFTs for various prices, marking the 3-year anniversary of his Ultraviolet album. And this NFT digital collectible traded on the blockchain, and that's really cool. The night ended with $11.7 million haul, setting several new year records. It was not only the largest ever NFT sale, but the 3.6 million paid for the auction's most expensive tokens, ranked as the priciest NFT. I mean, I still can't wrap my head around why the NFTs are selling for so much. but people are eating it up. People are eating it up like crazy. I mean, if you look at the Nifty gateway drops that are happening, I mean, you might even get lucky if you manage to get into one of those drops. I don't recommend it. It's definitely a hot potato type of game where you might be holding a hot potato worth several $1,000s and no one wants to buy it. But yeah, apparently many of these drops happening on Nifty Gateway, if you manage, they get sold out like in minutes, and very often you can resell them for a few $1,000s later on. But I still don't. It's still the value behind it still is beyond me. Really not sure why. Talking about other NFT stuff, what's pretty interesting, also mainstream here a bit, is Jack Dorsey, basically one of the, I believe, co-founders of Twitter. Not sure if he's the founder or co-founder. He's actually co-founder and CEO of Twitter and the founder and CEO of Square, net worth $13.4 billion US. What he decided to do is with this DeFi app, vsend.co, you can actually transform your Twitter tweets into an NFT token, and it's quite interesting because you can only do this once, and then you can sell like the rights to this tweet, and then he did it. And at the moment, the highest offer is at $2 million by Justin Sun Tron. So yeah, I don't really want to know what to say about it. I guess he doesn't really know what to do with his money. Or it's just like a type of marketing gag. I mean, he's doing all these marketing stunts, try to promote his, basically his shitcoin. Yeah. Other news I think is pretty cool, of course, is the FTC managing partners, Prakash Chand and Qdano project. They project Cardano headed to $20 and Polkadot to $700. So FTC is like a hedge fund that invested massive amounts. I think $750 million US worth of BTC they sold and bought ADA and Polkadot. So this is massive institutional investments, and they see the price of ADA going to $20, which is a crazy amount. I think $20 is shy of, I would say, like 800 billion US market cap, so pretty high, and Polkadot to $700. So that's pretty high valuations. I always take these valuations with a bit of salt, because yeah, of course they're invested in it, so they'll definitely be bullish about it. No hedge funds are ever bearish about investments that they just took. So what we have here is a little bit of pretty cool news, and that's no crypto ban in India. I think they're flip-flopping left and right. We're banning it, we're not banning, we're banning it, now we're not banning it, and now it's apparently no ban. So I just hope at some point they make up their mind. Probably some people in top positions, they've got like massive shorts, and they're manipulating the cryptocurrency market from their corner of the world. When they ban, they go short. When they say it's no ban, they go long, and no clue. But yeah, so apparently there's no blanket ban on the horizon, with an open window for experimentation in India, says Nirmala Sivaraman. So yeah, it's always the same story with these countries banning. They always try and get into the headlines like, we're banning, we don't want people. And I think it was pretty crazy. They like put like massive sanctions to for people owning cryptocurrencies. I think like 10 years in prison or something like that. Pretty crazy. So probably now they turned bullish, and they want to experiment with cryptocurrency. They also probably want to make their own crypto, and yeah, become innovators in the digital asset world. Let's see where that takes them. Hopefully, I mean, regulations is definitely a hindrance to many countries. I mean, you can see how it's working out in the US. Definitely a massive hindrance. Other countries are on the massive highway in terms of cryptocurrency innovation, and the US is still on a dirt road, being blocked left and right by boomer politicians. So yeah, so I definitely hope that the US can get that U-turn and go onto the highway, and maybe join other future thinking countries. I mean, you've got the US, you've got sorry, you've got Switzerland, you've got Singapore, you've got Malta, you've got many also other European countries that are very pro crypto. So I think the US definitely has to catch that U-turn to get onto the crypto innovation highway. Otherwise, they will be left behind in the dust on that dirt road. And last but not least, let's have a look at the charts. The charts haven't been really doing that much, so there's not really a lot to talk about with the charts, but it's very similar to my last video that I made, where I was talking about where the price of Bitcoin, ETH, and USD would be likely heading in the close future. And it's basically the same story. I expect the price of BTC to be trading between the red line and the blue line. This is Ichimoku client. I'm looking at the daily time frame, and the red is a support. So I do see a possibility that BTC goes down and touches the support at 43,000 in the next few days. However, it's also possible that it goes and retests the resistance at 50K. And they will probably be moving in this range for the next 2 to 3 weeks, probably, unless, as long as we don't break out down below the 43K range, we're good, sweet and dandy. And if we manage to break above this resistance of 50K, then I do see that we're retesting the previous all-time high. But I do anticipate that we have this move sideways for a bit. I mean, we had this move sideways as well back in January. So I think this is really good for the market. But as you could see here in January, we had a double bottom on the red line. And I do anticipate something similar happen here. So we had the first one. I anticipate that we might have a second one here on the red line, a bounce, which would be a double bottom. And then we have another move up like this. So definitely a really beautiful drawing for you guys. Let's have a look at ETH USD on Binance. And yeah, here I think it's basically the same story. We're moving this is from one of my last streams, and it's pretty cool how we're actually moving in sync more or less with the drawing I made back then. And that's, we are actually moving up along this trend line that is part of that channel that we had previously. And I think we're actually following this trend line pretty good. And I do actually see a pretty strong move for ETH happening soon, because it's holding this support trend line very well. And these bands here are actually getting closer and closer to each other. But what I'm actually looking at is this MACD. And it looks like we're gonna soon have a cross on the daily on the MACD. So we've been in a more or less bearish phase since the 20th of February, and we went down. That was basically this drop that we had, and now we're moving sideways, and hopefully with a bit of upwards action, probably testing this $1,700 level, we're going to have a cross on the MACD, and a cross on the MACD is pretty bullish, which would hopefully bring us past these resistance lines, $1,700 to $1,860, and then hopefully back upwards. So I'm pretty sure, should we break above this blue line, $1,715, then that's definitely going to be looking really sweet. If we look at ADA's actually been holding on really strongly. I mean, many people were like saying, oh yeah, sell, buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing. I mean, it's definitely had a massive price increase over the last few weeks. Now it's cooling off, having a bit of a correction, but with the massive updates that are happening, the correction has actually been pretty moderate, if you ask me. We're not even trading between these two lines, the blue line and the red line, like ETH and BTC are doing. ADA is actually still above this blue line, so above the $1.10. So it's holding on pretty strong. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we dip down below to the 87 cents level. I mean, it wouldn't be bearish in any way. I think it might even be good, because you never really want a project to go up like a rocket. I mean, of course you do like it, but it's not good for the long-term growth. If you wanted to stay up at certain price levels, you want the asset to trade sideways for a considerable amount of time. I know it's boring. I know the market is boring at the moment, but that's how it is. So at the moment, yeah, I don't really see much going to happen in the next few weeks. Possibly a retest up here at $1.36. It really depends. I mean, Q2 is looking really exciting. I'm looking forward to the native assets, and there are definitely a lot of updates coming to the Cardano blockchain. Cardano has a lot to prove and a lot of potential if they manage to prove what they've been working upon. Yeah, let's have a look at DOT. Pretty interesting. DOT actually had a bit of a flash crash on the DOT futures on Binance. But yeah, here as well, DOT is also holding pretty strong at $33. It's not trading between the red line, so 24 and 31. So it's holding pretty strong. And I see something very similar happening to back in January, where you have this bull flag, and me personally, I think this is also a bull flag that we will see also a breakout at some point. So definitely keep an eye at maybe you can also place an alert should the price of DOT break above this downwards trend. So should it go above $35, $34, $35, and you see like the first candle like that, then it's definitely going to be a nice move upwards for DOT, and that would actually bring us up to, if we take the same move that we had back at the end of January, that would actually bring us to $58. So that would be pretty cool. So yeah, $58 for the next move on DOT. So yeah, that was basically it for this video. If you want to stay up to date on many different information, make sure you hit that subscribe button, or just don't subscribe if you don't like money. If you've got any questions, definitely leave them here now in the comments and I'll address them. Otherwise, I'll be leaving the stream and having some dinner, well-deserved dinner. You can find my link to my Twitter account down below. It's your DeFi guide. And let's try and hit 200 followers. Yeah. If you got any questions, let me know. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any questions. So I'll be closing the stream. I wish you a fantastic evening and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one.